Did you know you could literally cut your tap water usage by up to 50%, all while giving your garden a vastly superior, completely chemical-free drink? Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into the blueprint to rainwater harvesting for irrigation. It's your complete, step-by-step guide to capturing nature's harvest safely and effectively.
50%. Seriously, think about that for a second. In a typical household, outdoor watering makes up a massive portion of the monthly water bill. But every single time it rains, thousands of gallons of a completely free, highly beneficial resource just washes away down the storm drain. And it's taking our money right along with it. Well, today, we're going to change that.
Here is our blueprint for today. We'll start with why rainwater is superior, then we'll calculate your perfect tank size, walk through essential system components, tackle the first flush diverter, go over water safety, and finally wrap up with maintenance and local laws. Let's get right into it. Section 1. Why harvest rainwater? Now you might be sitting there wondering, why even bother building a whole system when I've already got a perfectly good garden hose hooked up to the house?
Well, the answer really comes down to basic plant biology. You see, tap water costs money, obviously, but it's also treated with municipal chemicals like chlorine just to make it safe for us to drink. And those are chemicals that your plants really don't particularly like. Rainwater, on the other hand, it's completely free, it has a wonderfully neutral pH, and zero chemical additives. Basically, it's exactly what your garden evolved to drink.
Section 2. Calculating your tank size. Okay, so before you go out and buy a single pipe, you need to figure out the mathematical potential of your roof, like how much water can you actually catch?
Sizing a tank can seem kind of complex at first, but it actually boils down to 3 super approachable steps provided by the experts at AquaBarrel. Step 1, determine your water demand. Are we talking a few tomato plants here, or an entire lawn? Step 2, measure your roof's collection area. And step 3, factor in your local average rainfall. You've got to store enough water during those wet months to carry you all the way through the dry ones.
Now this is fascinating. Not all roofs are created equal when it comes to harvesting. The actual material of your roof dictates your collection efficiency. Metal roofs are the absolute gold standard here, giving you about a 95% collection efficiency. Asphalt shingles drop down to 85%, and tile roofs sit right around 80%.
To help you contextualize the scale of your own project right now, let's look at the numbers. If you just have small garden beds, 50 to 300 gallons is a really great target. For full home irrigation, you'll want to jump up to the 1,000 to 5,000 gallon range. And if you're aiming for full household replacement, which is a massive undertaking by the way, you're looking at 10,000 gallons or more. That's a whole lot of water.
Section 3. Essential system components. Let's transition out of the planning phase and into the building phase. Let's examine the physical anatomy of a really reliable rainwater setup. What are the actual parts you're going to need? Here is your basic hardware inventory. You're going to need storage tanks, downspout diverters, leaf eaters, and some sort of overflow management. But listen closely to this part. Pay special attention to the mesh screens. Building codes often explicitly require 1/16" mesh on all inlets and vents. This is absolutely crucial to strictly prevent mosquitoes from turning your nice new water supply into a personal breeding ground. Seriously, do not script the screening. Moving right along to Section 4, the first flush diverter. We really need to zoom in on one of the most specialized and honestly most heavily debated components of this entire ecosystem. It's called a first flush diverter. Basically, it's a mechanism that captures the initial, most contaminated wash of water from your roof. Think about it for a second. During a long dry spell, your roof is up there collecting dust, soot, and, well, bird droppings. When the rain finally hits, that first wash is pretty dirty. So this clever little device uses a chamber where a sealing ball slowly rises. Once it's filled with that dirty water, the ball seals the inlet shut, and all the subsequent nice clean rain just flows right over it and straight into your tank.
So exactly how much water should you be diverting? The precise industry rule of thumb is right here, 0.5. In a low pollution zone, you need to divert 0.5 gallons of water for every 100 square feet of roof area. Of course, if you live in an area with a ton of trees or high urban pollution, that number is definitely going to have to go up.
Now, I did mention this was debated, right? As the experts over at Blue Barrel point out, the season's first rainfall can contain pollen, dust, and decomposed organic matter. And guess what? Plants actually love organic matter. It's such a fascinating counter perspective. While diverters absolutely keep your tank crystal clear, some purely agricultural setups completely skip them. Why? Because this dirty water is essentially free, natural fertilizer for your plants. It really just comes down to what you prioritize.
a pristine tank, or a nutrient-dense drink for your garden.
And that debate leads us perfectly into Section 5, ensuring water safety. This addresses the single biggest hesitation people have when deciding whether to use roof runoff on their homegrown edibles, like lettuces and strawberries.
As the folks at AquaBarrel point out, conflicting guidance makes this incredibly tricky. You'll find so many confusing mixed messages out there. Some municipal water departments will tell you to never use rain barrel water for vegetables, mostly due to their own liability concerns. But then, other organizations totally advocate for it. So, what's the actual science-backed way to do this safely?
Well, here are the definitive, expert-backed mitigation strategies from Rutgers University and the Sightline Institute to completely neutralize any bacterial risks. Step 1. Just change how you water. Water directly at the roots, not overhead. You want to keep the water off the edible leaves. Step 2. If you want to be 100% sure, add approximately 1 ounce of standard, unscented household bleach per 55 gallons of water, and just wait 24 hours for it to dissipate before you water. And Step 3. For the really high-end setups, you can install inline UV water purifiers to instantly zap and neutralize bacteria.
Let's move to our final section, Section 6, Maintenance and Local Laws. The blueprint doesn't magically end once your pipes are all glued together. We have to make sure the system actually stays clean and stays compliant.
So here is your quick, seasonal maintenance checklist. First, regularly clean your gutters. Preventing debris at the source is literally half the battle. Second, remember that first flush diverter we talked about? You actually have to unscrew the bottom and empty out that dirty water and sludge after big storms. Third, inspect your ball valves and seals for any sneaky leaks. And finally, meticulously check those 1/16-inch mesh screens for tears to keep those mosquitoes far, far away.
I want to leave you with one absolutely vital question. Is rainwater harvesting fully legal in your local jurisdiction? While we've given you the physical blueprint today, regulations vary wildly. Some cities will actually incentivize you with rebates, while a few strictly restrict how much you're allowed to collect. So, your final homework assignment before buying a single pipe is to check your local codes. Go look up your local laws, do the math on your roof, and ask yourself, just how many gallons of free water are you letting slip away? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and happy harvesting!